Hello my loves and welcome back to my channel. Today's video we have your 2025 astrology prediction. We're going to be talking about the major astrology transits that are going to be happening through the year of 2025 and specifically how they're going to be affecting you, your sun sign and your rising sign, and you can also check out your moon sign if you want that extra added little depth to this reading for you. There's going to be timestamps linked down below so that you can easily navigate through this video, and if you don't know what your sun, your moon, or your rising sign are, I will have a free calculator linked down below so that you can figure that out. But I also just want to say, if you want to figure out your accurate rising sign, you will need to know your exact time of birth and your exact place of birth. The rising sign is calculated based on the exact constellation that was rising on the horizon line when you were born. And so of course this is changing all the time. It changes really fast because of the way that our Earth spins. So in order to, again, know the exact rising sign, you will need to know your exact time of birth. So I will just throw that out there. So that is all of that. But again, the calculators are linked down below in case you need those in order to figure that out. I also just want to say that I'm currently almost 40 weeks pregnant while I'm filming this, which is just wild. By the time this video comes out, I will be a mother. So if I sound out of breath ever through this video, or if I am sweaty or any of that, that is why. We are almost 40 weeks pregnant. We are almost due. I could give birth at any moment. But by the time you're watching this, I will already be a mom, which is so exciting. But yeah, that is everything that you need to know for this video. I am super excited to get into it. And without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. All right, so my beautiful Aries, welcome to your portion of today's video. So on January 12th, we actually have the North Node changing signs. So it's moving from Aries into Pisces. The North Node, when it was in your first house for the last year and a half, this was really bringing a focus towards you, your goals, your aspirations, who you are, your identity. But now that it's moving into your 12th house, this is a time where you are going to be looking into breaking old patterns, breaking old habits that were keeping you limited or stuck. This is also a time where you're going to be really focused on your mentality and also your creativity. New ideas might come into your imagination while the North Node transits your 12th house. The North Node is your destiny, what you're moving towards, what your soul is called towards. And as the North Node begins to transit through your 12th house, it's really bringing you to focus on more of your inner world, more of your inner belief systems. And this is a really great time of expanding your mind. So through the year of 2025, this is going to be a great time for healing the mind, and also beginning to expand it and break through old limitations. And then on March 30th, we actually have the planet Neptune moving from Pisces into Aries. So Neptune is now going to be moving into your zodiac sign, meaning it's going to be transiting your first house. And this is going to bring about a lot of self-transformation and also a lot of self-breakthroughs. Neptune is the planet that rules like illusions, but also fantasies, and it's also very creative, but it also helps us break through different illusions. And since it's moving into Aries, this is going to help you break through old illusions when it came to yourself. So if you've had different identities or ways of seeing yourself that just were not true, you're going to start to discover that as Neptune transits your first house. So you might start realizing like, oh, I always used to think that I wasn't capable of this. And now Neptune is like, well, maybe we should break through and break out of that old self-image because maybe that's not serving us anymore. So any old ways of seeing yourself that were no longer serving you, Neptune is going to help you have breakthroughs and self-transformations within yourself this year. On May 25th, we also have Saturn moving into Aries, which is wild. So we have two major planets that are going to be moving into Aries this year. So this is really significant for you. As Saturn transits the first house, it tends to bring up areas of ourself in which we have been insecure. But it brings them up so that we can now create more structure, more wholeness, and so we can actually begin to commit and create a foundation that's going to work for us. So this is committing to yourself, committing to who you want to be. You might notice that you get really inspired to be more disciplined. You might get really inspired to create certain commitments for yourself that maybe previously it was hard to stick to those commitments. Maybe previously it was hard to really find who you are. This is a year, Aries, where you're going to be really discovering who you are and having a lot of breakthroughs when it comes to your self-image, when it comes to figuring out and defining who you really want to be. This is a huge self-transformation year for you, where you're going to be defining yourself on a whole new level, especially with all these planets moving into Aries for you. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter moving from Gemini into Cancer. And this is going to be where Jupiter moves into your 4th house. Jupiter is the planet of luck, expansion, and good fortune. And with it moving into your 4th house, this is your house of your foundation, your family life, your home life. And as Jupiter moves here, it's going to bring abundance, happiness, and expansion in your home life. Some people notice that they expand their home in some way when this transit happens, and this transit's going to be happening over the next year. And this is going to really bring about a major focus on your home life. It's going to bring about blessings in your home life. You might notice you also upgrade your home in some way, or your home just feels upgraded, or your family life feels upgraded. There's a better fortune and a better feeling around your home life and family life that's going to be accumulating over the next year. And then on July 7th, we have the planet Uranus, which has been in Taurus for the past few years. Now it's going to be moving into Gemini. When it was in Taurus, it was transiting your 2nd house. So my Aries, you might have noticed that when it came to your finances, things might have been a little bit unpredictable, because Uranus brings about this sense of unpredictability. It also brings about changes and shifts in that area, because Uranus is also the planet of innovation. So it's really helped you be more innovative when it comes to your finances, when it comes to your relationship with your material belongings and the material things that you own or desire to own. It's brought a lot of innovation in those areas, but now that it's moving into your 3rd house, you're going to notice that your finances and your material world stabilize. So this is going to be really positive for you. Things are going to become a lot more secure. But now it's going to be moving into your 3rd house, which is innovation and shifts when it comes to communication, when it comes to your immediate friendships, people that you meet. You might notice that you meet a bunch of new people within these next few years that are going to really help bring in new opportunities. They're going to help you see life in a new way. And you might also notice that the ways in which you communicate and think are also changing and maturing and all types of things like that. So that is what we have going through the year of 2025. Those are the different energies that are going to be coming about for you as these planets change signs and affect different areas of your life. So that is all about you, my Aries. Definitely be sure to check out your other zodiac signs as well. So your sun, your moon, and your rising sign throughout this video, because that is going to be really helpful as well. And I'll see you next time. All right, my Tauruses, welcome to your portion of today's video. So on January 12th, we have the North Node moving from Aries, and now it's going to be moving into Pisces. And this is going to be affecting your 11th house. So the North Node is all about our destiny, what our soul is urging us towards, what our soul wants us to learn. It's kind of like the definition of what we're moving towards. As the North Node moves into your 11th house, this is really calling all of my Tauruses to focus more on networking, to focus more on expansion, to focus more on new opportunities. And this is a time where you're going to notice over the next year and a half, while the North Node transits your 11th house, new opportunities are going to pop up in your life. You might meet people that somehow unlock and open new doors for you in your life. That's all this 11th house energy. And also you might be called to expand yourself into new experiences, to travel, to learn new things, because this is all of that 11th house type of energy. You might be called to really explore and expand yourself into all types of new things, but this is really a big door opener, especially when it comes to meeting new people and the different connections that you make over this next year and a half. It's really going to open up brand new doors for you in really new and unexpected ways. Since the 11th house is also connected to friendships, this is also a time where you might make some really important important friendships over this next year and a half, like really significant ones that transform you and change you and also help you open up and unlock new opportunities as well. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune moving into Aries. So this is when it's going to begin transiting your 12th house. When Neptune transits the 12th, and it's going to be here for quite a few years actually. And this is going to be helping you expand mentally and also helping you dissolve old illusions, old belief systems, and old limitations that used to hold you back, because the 12th house is all our subconscious mind. It's all of our mentality. And Neptune helps us see and break through old illusions and delusions and helps us with expansion. It helps us bring in new creativity and new ideas. So as it transits the 12th house, you're going to go through a period over these next few years of really breaking out of old limitations, old boundaries that used to hold you back, and old thoughts that no longer serve you. This is a time where Neptune is going to be cleansing all of that, and Neptune is also going to bring about new ideas for you in this area as well. So it's going to be unlocking new mental expansion over the next few years. And then on May 25th, we have Saturn also moving into Aries, which is going to be transiting your 12th house. And Saturn brings about better structure. It brings about commitments and discipline and productivity. So as it transits your 12th house, this is a time where you're going to get new mental boundaries, new mental structures, new mental beliefs. So as Neptune helps us break down and break through old ones that no longer serve us, as Saturn also begins to transit the 12th house for you, now you're also going to be implementing and figuring out how you really want to be mentally, how you really want to think, how you really want to expand yourself. You're also going to be creating better structures when it comes to the new ideas that you get. So if you do get new ideas of, ooh, I want to expand into that, or oh, I want to try that, or oh, that's a really good new idea, Saturn is going to help you actually create the discipline and the structure to making those ideas happen. Saturn's going to help you with commitments and staying committed to certain goals rather than being wishy-washy with them. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter moving from Gemini into Cancer. This is going to be where Jupiter moves into your 3rd house. So Jupiter was in your 2nd house, which brought a lot of fortune over the last year when it came to your career, when it came to money, when it came to your sense of security. Jupiter was bringing good luck and good fortune to that area of your life. Now it's moving into your 3rd house. So Jupiter is going to bring good luck and good fortune to your friendships, to learning, to communication and networking and meeting new people, and quick new opportunities, quick new travel and things like that. So as Jupiter transits this area, you might notice that you meet new people that are really significant. You might notice that your social life is really enhanced with good luck and good fortune and good energy. So your social life will be expanding. Your social life will be highlighted, full of fun new experiences and all types of things like that over the next year as Jupiter transits your 3rd house. And then on July 7th, we have the planet Uranus, which has been in the zodiac sign of Taurus, which is your sign. It's been there for the past few years. Now it's moving into Gemini. So as Uranus has been in Taurus for the past few years, it has been creating a lot of innovation when it comes to yourself. So you might have noticed a lot of self changes, a lot of reinvention of who you are, a lot of discovering of who am I really. That has been the biggest thing that you have been discovering over the past few years. And now that Uranus is changing signs and transiting over to Gemini, it's now moving into your 2nd house. So this is now going to be a time where things are going to shift for you when it comes to your relationship with money, when it comes to how you spend money, when it comes to the innovative ideas that you get around making money. So Uranus creates innovation in this area for you, and it's going to help create different shifts and different changes when it comes to money and your material life and your material world. So that is what is going to be happening now over the next few years, because Uranus always spends a few years in each zodiac sign. So it was in Taurus, which was creating a lot of that inner self change and self-reflection and self-discovery. But now it is going to be creating change and discovery when it comes to your finances over these next few years. And a lot of more like innovative ideas are going to sprout because of this transit that's now going to be happening. So that is your year of 2025 and the different major transits that are going to be happening for you. Definitely be sure to check out your other zodiac signs as well. So your sun, your moon, and your rising sign are the most important ones to check out. And I will see you in my next video. All right, so my Geminis, welcome to your portion of today's video. So starting off on January 12th, we actually have the North Node changing signs, which it does so about every year, year and a half-ish. And it's moving from Aries into Pisces. And this means that the North Node is now going to be transiting your 10th house. The North Node is your callings, your destiny, what you feel called to move towards. It's sort of like your purpose and your soul's callings. Since it's now going to be transiting your 10th house, the 10th house is the house of career, goals, aspirations, and higher achievements. So the North Node is really calling you this year and over the next year to really achieve bigger things, a bigger vision. You might feel like your whole soul wants you to just climb the ladder to get to new heights. You might be really inspired to up-level yourself in some way, or maybe even up-level your career or do some big career shifts or improvements over this next year. As the North Node moves here, you're going to be more called towards what your divine purpose within your career actually is. So that's going to be a beautiful aspect of this North Node shift through the year of 2025. And then on March 30th, we have Neptune moving into Aries, which means Neptune is now going to be transiting your 11th house. Neptune likes to break through illusions. It's kind of the ruler of illusions, but it's also the ruler of creativity and fantasy and all of that. So as it moves into the 11th house, you might notice that you gain ideas that make you really want to expand. The 11th house is the entire world and being able to expand into the world and network and discover new opportunities. So Neptune is really bringing about this energy of like, ooh, I'm dreaming about different ways of which I can expand and network and connect and unlock new doors for myself. So that's going to be happening as Neptune transits this area. But Neptune is also going to be helping you break through old illusions when it came to friendships, since this is also the house of friendships. So you might be realizing that maybe you don't really connect to certain people anymore, and maybe you're really wanting more deep and more meaningful connections. You don't just want to take on any old opportunity or any old friendship just for the sake of it. Now you're really wanting things that are meaningful, things that have more depth, and all of that. So Neptune's going to bring about that energy, and Neptune's going to be here for the next few years. This is going to be something that is accumulating and transpiring over the next few years. And then on May 25th, we also have Saturn moving into Aries as well. So this means Saturn is also now going to be moving into your 11th house. And as it does this, Saturn helps us stick to commitments. So when it comes to those new visions, those new opportunities, those new realizations, those new breakthroughs that you are having because of that Neptune transit, Saturn is helping you really create the structure and the boundaries and the commitment to making those things happen. Saturn also moving through this area is going to really help with staying committed to friendships that are deep and meaningful. It's also going to help you with sticking to certain boundaries and becoming more straightforward with what it is that you want and need. So it's going to really help you with communication and being more straightforward in those areas. Also, when it comes to boundaries with friends, coworkers, and your social life, you'll also notice that you have better communication around those things as well. And then on June 9th, we have Jupiter moving from Gemini into Cancer. So Jupiter for the past year has been in Gemini up until June 9th, okay? So for the first half of the year, Jupiter's still in Gemini, which is your home sign, of course. And this means that Jupiter has been transiting your first house. Jupiter has been bringing really good luck when it comes to yourself, your self-image, your self-identity, and who you are. It's bringing a lot of expansion of who you are. And what you may have noticed over this past year and even through the first half of 2025, this is expanding you on an internal self level. But now as Jupiter changes signs and moves into Cancer, Jupiter is moving into your second house of career and finances and money and your material world. So Jupiter is the planet that brings good luck and good fortune and abundance. And as it moves into your second house for the next half of 2025 and moving into 2026, this is bringing a lot of good fortune to your money, your finances, and good luck in your material world. You might notice that your material world, you get inspired to expand it in some way. Perhaps there's more money coming in and you get to invest your money because the second house is also the house of investments. And Jupiter being in here is allowing you to expand your investments. It's allowing you to expand monetarily. So this is going to be a really positive transit for my Geminis. And then on July 7th, we have the planet Uranus, which for the past few years has been in Taurus, which means it's been transiting your 12th house, which has been bringing a lot of changes and shifts when it comes to your mentality, when it comes to the way that you think, when it comes to the old limitations that you used to have. You might have noticed that over the past few years, as Uranus transits this area, you might have had different ups and downs when it came to your mentality. You might have had different highs and also different lows, but those have been really teaching you how to innovate and create a mentality that's going to be really solid and really work for you. You've been really discovering what makes you feel good and what does not make you feel good. You've also been discovering old limitations and breaking through and having big breakthroughs over the past few years when it came to old limitations that you used to have on yourself. But now that Uranus is moving into Gemini, it's moving into your first house. This means that Uranus, which is the planet of change and shifts and unexpected new things coming into your life and also innovation, is now going to be in your first house, which is all about the self. So this means that you're going to go through a lot of self changes beginning on July 7th, and then through the rest of the year, and also for the next few years. This is going to be innovation when it comes to you, yourself, your identity, and who you are. So that's what Uranus is now going to be bringing for you over these next few years. And this is going to help you on a self-identity level, which is different than the 12th house, which is all about you on a mental level, the way that you think and the ideas that you have. Uranus really helped bring about new ideas for you over the past few years as it's transited your 12th house. But now you're entering the phase of the reinvention of who you are. And because Jupiter also brought a lot of expansion into who you are, Uranus is now going to bring about the innovation and really integrating a lot of those things and bringing about necessary changes in this area of your life. So that is what we have through the year of 2025 for my Geminis. Be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising signs if you have not already, and I'll see you next time. All right, my Cancers, welcome to your part of the zodiac sign prediction. So on January 12th, we have our first major transit of the year, which is the North Node changing signs. So the North Node has been in Aries and now it's moving into Pisces, which means it's going to be transiting your 9th house. The 9th house is the area of beliefs, traditions, different cultures, your values, higher learning. And as the North Node moves here, the North Node is your callings. The North Node is your what your soul is wanting to move towards. So now in the year of 2025, your soul is wanting to move towards new belief systems. You might be reevaluating what you used to believe, and you might be discovering entirely new things this year that make you leave behind old belief systems that no longer serve you and no longer work for you. You might have some sort of spiritual awakening this year or some other sort of philosophy change that really changes your direction in life. And since the 9th house also deals with higher learning and also travel, you might be really called to learn something new. You might be really called to travel or explore new ideas, new places, new cultures, new belief systems, and new things like that. And this is going to help you shift and really discover more of what you really want to believe in and what's going to really work for you to help you expand in your life and to help you feel more at home in yourself. So that is the first major transit of this year. And then on March 30th, we have Neptune moving into the zodiac sign of Aries, which means it's going to be transiting your 10th house. Neptune is the planet that helps us break through illusions. It helps us see what we've been sort of stuck in. And it also helps us with creativity and expanding the mind. Being in your 10th house of career and climbing the ladder and moving to higher places, you might be sort of realizing where in your career and where in your goals you might have been stuck in some sort of like illusion, or you might have been stuck in some sort of thought process or box that now you're like, wait, I want to break out of that box. I want to become something new, or I want some sort of reinvention in this area. Maybe you're wanting to transcend what you used to be stuck in when it came to your goals and your career and all things like that. Neptune's really helping you see more potential and more possibility, because Neptune is also the planet of fantasy and imagination. And as it transits your 10th house, it's really going to be giving you the gift of seeing maybe there's more that's possible for me. Maybe I've been keeping myself limited and stuck in that area, and now Neptune's going to be helping you see how you can expand. And this transit, it begins in 2025, but it's going to last quite a few years because Neptune is a slow-moving planet. So this is going to be something that really starts to transpire over these next few years for you. And then on May 25th, we also have Saturn moving into your 10th house as well, because it's also changing signs into Aries. And Saturn is the planet of discipline and commitments and responsibilities and productivity and structure and boundaries. And since it's moving into your 10th house, you're going to notice that you are called to create better boundaries when it comes to your career, when it comes to your goals. You're also going to be inspired to create better structure in those areas of your life, so that you can feel more whole and well in these areas. Saturn's really helping you also commit to certain things when it comes to your career. So perhaps there's certain career commitments that you're like, you know what, I really want to stick to this particular direction or this particular goal. You're seeing what you want to commit to. And you're also seeing where you might need better boundaries in those areas of your life so that you can have a more balanced, fulfilling life. This also helps you take on certain responsibilities so that you can get stuff done and create better structure and productivity in your life in that area as well. And then on June 9th, we have Jupiter changing signs. It's changing signs from Gemini, which means that Jupiter has been transiting your 12th house through the first half of the year. And then on June 9th, as it changes into Cancer, it's moving into your home sign. This is always when you gain a period of good luck and good fortune, whenever Jupiter transits your sign. So on June 9th, it moves into Cancer. So for the next year, Jupiter is going to be bringing a lot of good luck to all of my Cancers. So since Jupiter was in the 12th house, it was really helping you expand your mind. Maybe you were really into learning new things, coming up with new ideas. Maybe you found yourself being more imaginative this year. Maybe you also found ways of overcoming old mental blocks over the last year, because Jupiter was bringing good luck and good fortune to you within your 12th house. But now, since it's moving into your first house on June 9th, and it's going to stay here through the rest of the year and even into 2026, this is the time where Jupiter is going to bring you good luck to yourself. This is going to help you expand yourself, expand who you are. So if you have felt stuck in who you are, if you have felt like maybe you need some sort of like reinvention, reinvigoration, or expansion within yourself, Jupiter now moving into your sign is going to bring you that good luck and good fortune to you, to the expansion of who you are. And you're just going to notice good luck and good fortune happens through this next year as Jupiter moves into your sign. Then our last major transit of the year, on July 7th, we have Uranus changing signs. It's moving from Taurus, which it's been in Taurus for the past few years, and now it's moving into Gemini. This means that it's moving from your 11th house into your 12th house. So as Jupiter for the past few years was transiting your 11th house, you might have noticed different shifts and changes when it came to friendships, and also when it came to networking and the people that you would meet meet. Perhaps you've met a lot of new people over the past few years, and maybe you've also noticed a lot of shifts and changes within your social life and your friend groups. So Uranus brings about a lot of changes and a lot of unpredictability when it comes to that area of our life as it transits the 11th house. But now you're going to notice more stability in those areas of your life as Uranus moves out of your 11th house and now moves into your 12th house. As it moves into the 12th house, this is now a time where you're going to be noticing some shifts when it comes to your belief systems and shifts and breakthroughs when it comes to yourself internally. So other old blocks that you've had, Uranus is going to help eradicate those old blocks, and it's also going to help you be more innovative when it comes to your own mentality. You're going to notice that when it comes to problem solving, Uranus is going to help you be so much more innovative over these next few years, and other aspects where you used to get stuck or when things used to get hard, Uranus is going to really push you to be more innovative and come up with creative new ways of moving forward and having breakthroughs. So that's going to be really helpful for all of my Cancers. And Uranus is going to be in the zodiac sign of Gemini here for the next few years. So this is going to be something that's happening and transpiring over the next few years for you, and it's beginning on July 7th of 2025. So that is your major astrology transits for this next year. Be sure to check out your other zodiac signs, your sun, moon, and your rising sign, and I'll see you next time. All right, my beautiful Leos, welcome to your part of this zodiac sign prediction for 2025. So our first major astrology transit this year is the North Node changing signs. So it's moving from Aries into Pisces, which means that the North Node is moving into your 8th house at the beginning of this year. And the North Node is our destiny, our soul's calling, our purpose, what we feel called to move towards and pursue. And since it's changing signs and now moving into your 8th house, this is calling you to pursue more independence. And it's also calling you to really uncover and dig up old things that are no longer working for you and no longer serving you. You might start noticing what you really want to be connected to, because the 8th house is our shared assets. And since the North Node is moving here, we're looking at, okay, who am I sharing my assets with? Who am I allowing into my circle? Who am I giving my energy to? And you're realizing who you want to give your energy to versus who you don't want to give your energy to, because I think that you're starting to see and realize which ones are worth it and which ones might not be worth it. This could be, friendships. This could be romantic partnerships. This could be business partnerships. This could just be different tasks and responsibilities that you have. And you're really realizing the areas of your life where you want to be more independent, more self-focused, and different areas where you are maybe wanting to create change and shift certain things that you used to give a lot of your time, your resources, and your energy towards. So this is going to be shifting for you through this next year as the North Node transits through your 8th house, and you're really realizing more self-reliance and self-independence. The North Node's going to be really pushing you towards that this year. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune moving into Aries, which means that Neptune is now going to be transiting your 9th house. As Neptune transits here, Neptune breaks us out of old illusions. It helps us realize what we've been stuck on, but it also helps us with imagination and creativity. So as it moves into the 9th house, this is going to be helping you see old belief systems and old paradigms that no longer work for you. So this is going to be a time where you're going to get a lot of epiphanies on, oh, I used to do life this way, and I used to think in this way, and I used to have this belief system, this value, this philosophy that maybe I'm realizing wasn't the truth. Maybe I'm realizing that that's no longer serving me. And now you're going to be discovering values, philosophies, belief systems that actually do serve you. You're going to be now expanding yourself into discovering new things that really do work for you. So all the things that maybe have been holding you back, that maybe you didn't even notice or see before, now those things are coming to light. And they're going to be coming to light over these next few years. It's starting in 2025, but Neptune stays in a zodiac sign for quite a few years. So you're going to be noticing all of these new belief systems, all of these new realizations and ideas are going to really start coming in over these next few years that really help push you forward and expand you into more. The ninth house is expansion. The ninth house is travel and higher learning. So there's going to be tons of higher learning coming in for you through these next few years, but this is going to be really positive because Neptune helps us with our creativity, and it also helps us create our fantasy. So Neptune is always bringing us blessings, and it's helping us break through illusions that kept us from our higher expansion and our higher fantasies that we really want to achieve. So Neptune's going to be really helping you with this as it transits through this ninth house. And then on May 25th, we also have Saturn entering your ninth house as well, because Saturn is also moving into Aries. So this is going to be really significant for you because as Neptune helps us break through old illusions, Saturn, the planet of responsibility, the planet of commitments, the planet of productivity and getting things done, the planet of structure and boundaries, moving into your ninth house, you're going to have so much more discipline on yourself when it comes to getting things done, when it comes to your belief systems and what you actually believe. So rather than ever being wishy-washy with your beliefs, you're going to really start to see what matters to you most. And you might also realize that having a belief system is really important. Having some sort of belief or faith in something might be really important to adding structure to your life. So Saturn coming here is going to really help you figure out what you believe in. It's going to really help you figure out and create stronger roots into different traditions and values that are going to really serve you really well, actually, because there might have been different values or different traditions or different things that you've had that didn't work out for you in the past, or perhaps have been holding you back that you didn't even realize. And now over these next few years, you're starting to realize, I am starting to see what does actually serve me in this area, and these different faiths and values and traditions actually do keep me and give me this beautiful structure in my life for me to have the most flourishing and beautiful life. So that's going to be happening over the next few years, is this breakdown of old beliefs and also this structure and this figuring out of beliefs and values that will actually really serve you. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter moving from the zodiac sign of Gemini, now moving into Cancer. So this has been moving from your 11th house to your 12th house. Jupiter brings about good luck and good fortune. And so through the first half of the year and through even back in 2024, it has been transiting through your 11th house, bringing really good luck when it came to friendships, expanding into new opportunities, and even travel. But now that it's moving into your 12th house, Jupiter is going to be bringing good luck and good fortune to you mentally. So now for the rest of 2025 and now even going into 2026, you are going to notice that Jupiter is bringing good luck to you when it comes to your subconscious mind, when it comes to your mentality, when it comes to old limitations that you used to have. Jupiter is going to help you have breakthroughs mentally. Jupiter is going to help you have healing mentally. It's also going to bring about more abundance, so a more abundant mindset, creating more good luck and realizing like, oh, my life is full of goodness. My life is full of luck. It's going to help you with seeing luck around you, with seeing opportunity, with seeing abundance as Jupiter now begins its transit through your 12th house. Then on July 7th, we have Uranus changing signs, and this is our last major transit of the year. Uranus is moving from Taurus now into Gemini. It's been in Taurus for the past few years, and now we're going into Gemini for the next few years. Uranus, as it was in Taurus, was transiting your 10th house of career goals and aspirations. This was allowing you to create a lot of change and innovation within your career over these past few years. And perhaps you've noticed that your career has shifted or changed somehow in these past few years as Uranus was transiting this house for you. And perhaps there was a lot of innovation in this area. But now, it is going to be shifting into your 11th house. So rather than your career life being unpredictable and full of changes and shifts, now it's becoming more stable. But now Uranus moves into your 11th house, which is going to cause social change for you. So you might notice that your social groups are actually going to begin shifting over these next few years. And you might start realizing that you are connecting to completely different people than who you used to be connected to. But this is actually going to bring about new opportunities and open up new doors for you, because Uranus is also the planet that creates innovation, and the 11th house opens up new doors and opportunities. It's the house of networking. It's the house of friendships. It's the house of the entire world and opening up new opportunities in the world for you. So Uranus moving here is really creating this change and this innovation when it comes to unlocking new networking opportunities, meeting people that are going to help open up new doors for you, and creating a lot of change and innovation in those areas of your life. So that is what we have. That's going to be beginning in mid-2025, and it's going to be happening over these next few years. So that's what you can begin to expect energetically for you, my Leos. Be sure to also check out your other sun, moon, and rising sign if you have not already. Timestamps are linked down below, and I'll see you in my next video. All right, my Virgos, welcome to your portion of the astrology prediction. So starting on January 12th, we have the North Node changing signs. The North Node is your soul's callings, what you're being called towards, what your future holds for you. And so the North Node is moving into the zodiac sign of Pisces, which is going to be affecting your 7th house. The 7th house is the house of marriage, of intimate relationships, and intimate business partnerships. So the North Node moving here is allowing you to really see, okay, who do I want to be connected to? And maybe you're going to be called to create really deep connections this year. As the North Node transits the 7th house, a lot of people really connect to deep friendships. They start to realize like, oh, who are my closest friendships? They might also be called to taking their relationship to the next level. So if you're dating somebody, or even if you're single, maybe you're going to be called to focus more on partnerships this year. Maybe you're going to be called to explore partnerships this year. There's going to be opportunities for partnerships this year. Or if you're already with somebody, maybe you're inspired to take that to the next level with that person, take things to the next level. When it comes to business partnerships, as the North Node is here, we're inspired to create better partnerships. We're inspired to also get rid of partnerships that don't work for us. So the North Node is also helping us see, okay, do I have any connections that are not serving me, that I'm still connected to just because of obligation, or just because I felt like I had to stay connected to them, or just because I've known them for so long, or et cetera, et cetera. This is a transit that's going to help you disconnect from all the relationships that no longer serve you. And it's going to help you connect and take things to the next level with people who are meant to be in your life, people who are going to serve your highest good and the direction that you're wanting to move towards in your life. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune moving from the zodiac sign of Pisces into Aries, which means that Neptune is now going to be transiting your 8th house. Neptune helps us see illusions, and it helps us break out of them. And it also helps us with creating more of our fantasy and what we are wanting to create, what we are wanting to move towards. Being in your 8th house, this is the house of shared resources, intimate connections, and all things like that. So as Neptune moves through here, you're going to start to see where in relationships you were maybe stuck in an illusion, or some sort of like, maybe you felt stuck in certain relationships. Maybe you felt stuck when it came to certain shared resources. Maybe if you shared an office space with somebody, or if you shared an apartment with somebody, or if you shared other things with other people in some way, shape, or form, this is helping you see the relationships that do really serve you versus the relationships that don't. And Neptune transiting through this area, which is going to be transiting here for the next few years, is going to really help uncover and show you the ways in which maybe you're wanting to become more independent, the ways in which maybe you are called to do things more on your own and seeing the value in maybe doing things on your own, and also the value of having shared resources when it comes to, healthily doing that in a healthy way. So it's going to help you break down ways in which you were connected to other people in toxic ways, and it's going to help you release that and let go of that so that that's no longer happening to you. And it's also going to help you see ways in which you can connect to people on a deep, intimate level that are going to actually serve you. It's going to actually be positive for you. So it's really helping you rebalance those areas of your life to create more balance and positivity in that area. And then on May 25th, we have Saturn moving into the 8th house, which is going to really help all of this area because Neptune's helping us break out of the old illusions, helping us really see things more clearly over these next few years. Saturn now moving here as well, which is going to be here for a few years too. Saturn helps us create boundaries. And being in the 8th house, this is really helping you set proper boundaries with other people. When it comes to sharing your resources, sharing your energy, this is going to help you create better boundaries in this area. And you might notice different things come up that really help you see like, oh, I do need to set boundaries. Maybe I do need to create more structure in these areas. So when it comes to communicating that, when it comes to taking action on that, this is going to really help you in those areas. Saturn also transiting the 8th house is also going to help you when it comes to different areas where you want your independence. Saturn helps with the discipline. Saturn helps with the commitments. Saturn helps with committing to all the promises that you want to make for yourself in those areas of your life. Then on June 9th, halfway through the year, we have Jupiter changing signs. It was in Gemini, now it's moving into Cancer. So it's moving from your 10th house to your 11th house. As Jupiter was in your 10th house over this last year and through the beginning of 2025, Jupiter was really bringing blessings to your career. It was bringing blessings towards your goals and aspirations that you are wanting to strive towards and move towards and create and manifest. And now, halfway through 2025, Jupiter is now going to be moving into your 11th house. The 11th house is networking, unlocking new worldly opportunities, and it is also the house of friendships and travel. So as Jupiter moves here, you might be called to expand yourself in new ways. You might be called to even travel or explore new lands, new things, or you might even notice that new opportunities just seem to pop up for you over this next year. So beginning midway through 2025, and then this transit is going to last for an entire year, you're going to notice new opportunities pop up for you. Brand new opportunities that allow you to expand, that allow you to possibly travel or do things that you've never done before, to move outside of your comfort zone, but in ways that are kind of like exciting. It's like unlocking new opportunities in this area. Jupiter brings about good luck and good fortune. Being in your 11th house, this is good luck and good fortune with friendships, new opportunities, and travel. So that is going to be happening midway through 2025. And then our last major transit of the year, we have Uranus changing signs as well. So Uranus stays in a zodiac sign for quite a few years, approximately like 5, 6, 7 years, depending on the zodiac sign. But Uranus has been in Taurus for the past few years. And now it is moving into Gemini. So it's moving from your 9th house to your 10th house. Uranus was creating a lot of shifts and changes as it was transiting your 9th house over the past few years. And it was creating a lot of shifts and changes when it came to what you believe in, your traditions, your philosophy, your values. Perhaps it also caused you to learn completely new things or doing a lot of skill building over the last few years as well. But now Uranus is moving into your 10th house. So it's now going to be creating a lot of change within your career and a lot of innovation within your career and your goals and your higher achievements that you are striving towards. So as Uranus now transits here for the next few years, you're going to notice a lot of changes when it comes to your career. You might be called to create new changes, or you just might be noticing that changes just fall onto your lap when it comes to your career. But this is also leading you to new innovation because Uranus brings the blessing of innovation. So yes, it comes with change and sometimes unexpected change, but that unexpected change leads us to great innovation, which helps us expand, it helps us grow. And so now, with it moving into your 10th house, you're going to notice all of those things start shifting and changing within your career and within your goals and aspirations. And Uranus is going to help you create the innovation that you need to climb higher in your career and within your higher achievements over these next few years. And that transit is beginning in July of 2025. So that is what we have for you for my Virgos. Be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising sign if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. All right, my Libras, welcome to your portion of the zodiac sign prediction for 2025. So starting off this year, our first major transit happens on January 12th, where the North Node changes signs. It's moving from Aries into Pisces, which means that it's now moving into your 6th house. The North Node is your destiny, your soul's calling, and where you're meant to go in your future, what you're being called towards. And being in the 6th house, you're gonna be really called towards improving yourself with your health, and also with your schedule, your routine, and your career. The way in which you work with others and even your environment is the 6th house. So the North Node is really calling you to this area of your life, and you're gonna notice that through this whole next year, as the North Node transits your 6th house, you're gonna be much more desiring to get your health in order, to get your routine in order, to feel more committed to practices that are going to be really beneficial for you. So maybe you're going to be eradicating old things that you're like, wait a second, that wasn't good for my health. That wasn't good for me. And now you're going to be implementing things that you're like, this is good for my health. This is good for my wellness. This is good for me when it comes to my career and things like that. So it's going to be really helping you sort of see what's good for you and what's not. And the North Node is helping you strive towards and commit to the things that are going to bring you balance in that area of your life. So this is going to be happening through the next year. You might notice that with your goals and all the resolutions that you set, this is going to be a year where I feel like you're going to be quite productive, since the North Node is really helping your soul really move towards that this year. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune changing signs. It's moving from Pisces into Aries, which means Neptune is now moving into your 7th house. Your 7th house is the house of marriage, intimate relationships, really deep friendships, and business partnerships. Neptune helps us break through old illusions, and it also helps us create what we actually want to create. It's like the planet of inspiration and imagination. And so as Neptune begins to transit the 7th house over these next few years, you are going to start to see old things in relationships that, no longer work for you. Because Neptune helps us have breakthroughs when it came to our illusions and different things like that. So you might be starting to see, okay, maybe I was always friends with this person that maybe wasn't really the greatest for me. Or maybe I had this partnership with this coworker that maybe was very surface level and wasn't really that real. And we're starting to kind of see where we've had certain illusions, and maybe where we've also projected different things on people, where we thought like, oh, that is my person, but maybe they kind of weren't. So we're starting to see just the illusions that maybe we were caught up in before. But Neptune also transiting the 7th house is helping you connect to and see who does really inspire you, who really is going to be there for you and bring about goodness and bring about the sense of fantasy, bring about the sense of like, oh my gosh, these are my wildest dreams come true. So as we begin to be honest with ourselves over these next few years, as Neptune transits your 7th house, when you're really honest with yourself about your true relationships and what is really underneath the surface, as you're honest with yourself, Neptune brings the blessing of showing you how you can achieve those greatest fantasies. So Neptune, again, it's a planet where it helps us see where we've maybe been wearing rose-colored glasses and putting on a mask. But as we are honest with ourselves, Neptune brings you the blessing of now seeing how you can create and achieve your biggest fantasy. So you're gonna notice that new things come up as well, new opportunities come up to help you create your biggest fantasies when it comes to your intimate relationships, when it comes to marriage, partnership, business partnerships, and all of that. You're gonna start to see how to create that, but it comes through being honest and really starting to see where those things were not right? So as we begin to have that contrast, that really helps us move towards what is really meant to be for us. And then on May 25th, we have Saturn also moving into the 7th house. And Saturn's going to be here for the next few years as well. Saturn is the planet of commitment, and it's also the planet of boundaries and responsibilities. So as Saturn moves in here as well, it's also going to be really helping this Neptune energy because it brings about the groundedness with the sort of like really sort of high up there Neptune sort of energy. It helps us bring the groundedness. And because of this, Saturn is going to help you see who you really do want to be committed to long term versus who maybe we don't want to be committed to long term. Saturn helps us create boundaries. This is going to help you create boundaries in all of your intimate relationships, business partnerships, friendships, marriages, and intimate connections that you have. Saturn helps us create proper boundaries, but it is also the planet of commitments. And a lot of the times when Saturn transits the 7th house, a lot of people will notice that they either get into a really committed long-term relationship, or they sign a contract like business partnership that's really important, or they get married during that time. But there's some sort of commitment that's going to happen with a relationship over these next couple years for you as Saturn moves into your 7th house. There's going to be some sort of major commitment that happens and transpires as Saturn transits this area for you. And it's going to be transiting your 7th house over these next couple years. So this could happen anytime within 2025 or within the next couple years after that. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter changing signs. It's moving from Gemini into Cancer, which means it's moving from your 9th house into your 10th house. So Jupiter brings about good fortune and good luck and abundance to wherever it's transiting. And since over this last year, it was transiting your 9th house, and through the beginning of 2025, it was transiting your 9th house, this was bringing a lot of good luck and good fortune when it came to expanding yourself, your ideas, learning new skills, higher learning, even travel or doing things that are kind of like new experiences. Jupiter was bringing a lot of good luck and good fortune to that area of your life, but now with Jupiter moving into your 10th house, it's going to be bringing good luck and good fortune to your career, to your higher goals and aspirations, and to the vision of success that you have for your life. Jupiter is going to be bringing about good luck and good fortune to this area of your life now, and it's going to be here transiting over the next year. So beginning mid-2025 and even through 2026, most of 2026, it's going to be bringing about a lot of good luck and good fortune to your career and to expanding into your higher goals and vision. So climbing the ladder, reaching new heights. Jupiter is going to be bringing you lots of good luck and good fortune. Then on July 7th, we have our last major transit of the year, which is Uranus changing signs. So it's moving from Taurus into Gemini, meaning it's moving from your 8th house to your 9th house. Over the past few years, Uranus was transiting your 8th, which meant that there was a lot of shifts and a lot of changes and a lot of innovations when it came to your shared assets. So perhaps if you live with somebody, maybe that was really shifting over the past few years, like who you live with, for example, or other shared assets could be other ways in which we share resources or energy or time with other people. And Uranus being here was creating a lot of change in that area of your life, but now it's going to be moving into your 9th house, meaning that now is going to be a time for a lot of innovation and freedom. So really finding your freedom over these next few years, because Uranus always stays in a zodiac sign for a few years. So now it's going to be moving into your 9th house. And it's going to be here over the next few years, creating a lot of shifts, changes, and innovation when it comes to your independence, when it comes to exploring new things, new ideas, new experiences. You might even notice that you start traveling a lot more over these next few years, especially with Uranus moving into the 9th house. There could be a lot of unexpected travel or unexpected new ideas, unexpected new experiences popping up in your life that you've never even had before. And this transit's going to be happening for the next few years. So that is what is beginning and happening in 2025 for you, my beautiful Libras. Thank you so much for joining me here for today's video, and be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising sign within this video to get a more detailed prediction for your year of 2025. and I'll see you next time. All right, my Scorpios, welcome to your portion of the zodiac sign prediction. So starting off this year, our first major transit happens on July 12th, which is when the North Node changes signs and it's moving now into Pisces, meaning that the North Node is now going to be transiting your 5th house of pleasure, of fun, and being in the spotlight. And the North Node is what your soul is being called towards. Your future, what you're meant to move into, who you're meant to become. And so as the North Node begins transiting your 5th house this year, and it's going to be here through the rest of 2025, this is really calling you towards experiencing new experiences. You're going to notice that 2025 brings about a lot of new experiences for you. You're going to find new ways of having fun, new ways of experiencing pleasure, and you're going to also be really called to prioritize fun and pleasure this year. Your soul is really calling you towards that. And your soul's also calling you towards stepping into more of your confidence and possibly even stepping a little bit more into the spotlight a little bit. Because the 5th house can bring about a bit of that energy, but it's very much about confidence. It's about pleasure. It's about the areas in which you have fun and the areas that feel creative for you. The North Node moving over here is really calling you into more exploration into that area of your life. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune changing signs. It's moving from Pisces into Aries, which means it's now going to be moving into your 6th house. Your 6th house is the house of productivity. It's the house of health. It is the house of work and being of service to others. And so as Neptune moves over here, Neptune helps us break out of old illusions, and it also helps us see more of our imagination, more of what we can do or what we can achieve. It helps us expand our mind. And Neptune, as it transits the 6th house, you're going to begin to see and have breakthroughs when it comes to your health. So if there's anything that has been a mystery to you around your health, Neptune is going to help reveal this over these next few years. And this transit begins early 2025, but this transit is going to last a few years. So Neptune is going to really help you see areas within yourself that maybe we need to improve. Maybe we need to focus more on our wellness in certain aspects. Neptune's going to help you see and reveal those aspects of yourself. And it's also going to begin to help you see areas in which you have been spending your energy and your time and your schedule, the areas of your work life that have maybe been not serving you, and it's going to also help you see what is going to serve you, because Neptune also helps us expand our mind into what's possible. It helps us expand our imagination. So as we begin to have the breakthroughs and being able to see things clearly and being honest with ourselves when it comes to our health, our wellness, our environment, our time in our schedule, and our work-life balance, as we begin to break through old illusions with that, as we begin to be honest with ourselves, Neptune is going to help you see what is actually possible in that area. It's going to help you with your imagination and being able to move towards, oh, this is how I can have the greatest balance. This is how I can move towards the greatest potential in that area of my life. So Neptune helps us create your fantasy dream life through breaking out of old illusions and being able to be honest with yourself in those areas. So that's what Neptune does. Neptune's going to be transiting this area over the next few years for you. And then we also have Saturn moving into this house for you as well on May 25th. So Saturn is also moving out of Pisces into Aries, where it's going to begin transiting your 6th house. And Saturn helps us with boundaries and commitments and responsibilities and being able to take care of those responsibilities. So it adds this foundational piece to our Neptunian energy that we have going on. Saturn is also going to be in this area of your life for you over these next couple years. So Saturn is going to help with being committed to new boundaries that you're going to have when it comes to your work-life balance. It's also going to help you be really committed when it comes to health promises that you're making to yourself, when it comes to different things within the realm of health for you that maybe you want to be more responsible with, maybe you want to have better boundaries with those different things. Saturn is going to help you create those commitments over these next couple years as Saturn transits this house. Saturn is also going to help again with that work-life balance and creating a better schedule, and also sticking to the things that are going to help bring you the best benefits. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter moving from Gemini into Cancer, which means it's going to be moving from your 8th house into your 9th house. Whenever Jupiter enters our 9th house, it brings about the opportunity for travel, expansion, exploring new cultures, exploring different parts of the world that we've never been before. And it also helps us with higher learning. So if you are inspired to learn something new or learn a new skill, that might start coming about for you through the latter half of 2025 and even into 2026. You might get called to explore new things, travel outside of your comfort zone, do things outside of your comfort zone. That's gonna be really like a theme for you in 2025, is actually exploring things that are outside of your comfort zone, and doing so in ways that are actually going to bring about new opportunities and new blessings into your life as you do so. And then on July 7th, we have our last major transit of the year, which is Uranus changing signs. It's been in Taurus for the past few years, and now it's moving into Gemini. So this means that it's moving from your 7th house to your 8th house. When Uranus over the past few years was transiting your 7th house, this was creating a lot of shifts and changes when it came to your relationships. So this is like any of your intimate relationships, such as business partnerships, intimate, actual romantic relationships, or even friendships. You might have noticed a lot of shifts and a lot of changes over the past few years in this area of your life, but now Uranus is going to be moving into your 8th house, and it's going to be here for the next few years. So this is creating changes when it comes to your shared resources and your shared assets. As Uranus moves through this area, you might be finding the proper balance between your own independence versus shared assets with other people. So sharing responsibilities, sharing workloads, sharing resources, time and energy and money with other people, sharing bills or things like that. Uranus moving into this area is going to help you create shifts and changes and innovations in this area of your life. So if you've noticed that maybe you do need more help, Uranus is going to help bring about that change for you. If you've been noticing that you do want more independence, Uranus is going to be helping create that change for you over these next few years as Uranus transits the 8th house. So that is what we have for your year of 2025, the different energies that are going to be happening, the different shifts and changes that are going to be happening through this year. Be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising sign to get the most accurate prediction for you for this next year. And thank you so much for joining me here for today's video. And until next time. All right, my Sagittariuses, welcome to your portion of the zodiac sign prediction for 2025. So starting off this year, our first major transit is the North Node changing signs. So the North Node was in Aries, and now it is moving into Pisces, meaning it's going to be entering your 4th house. The North Node is what our soul is being called towards, what our soul is being called to explore more, what our soul wants to learn more in. And since it's going to be in your 4th house through the rest of this year, your soul is calling you now towards focusing more on family, focusing more on your home life, comforts, your foundation, your sense of security, your sense of stability. So my Sagittarius is, all of you are going to be focusing more on your home. As the North Node moves here, you're also going to be called towards figuring out, what are your roots? Where do you want to set your foundation? You're also going to be focusing on cultivating more family time or more comforts, spending time with loved ones. That's going to be a highlight for you as the North Node transits your 4th house. It's really calling you to focus on this area of your life to create a stronger sense of security, a stronger sense of foundation in all of those aspects of your life. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune changing signs. It's moving from Pisces into Aries, which means Neptune, which is a slow moving planet, meaning it stays in a zodiac sign for a few years, is now going to be switching over to your 5th house, where it's going to spend the next few years. Neptune, as it transits the 5th house, brings about a sense of wanting to evoke more romance, wanting to invoke more pleasure, more joy. But it also helps us cut through illusions where perhaps we used to think that certain things brought us joy, brought us pleasure, and all of that, but maybe we're realizing that that was sort of like an empty hole. And now we're starting to realize what truly does bring us a sense of romance, what truly does bring us a sense of fulfillment. And that's going to be shifting for you. So Neptune helps us break through illusions, and it also helps us build more of our fantasy dream life. But it only helps us do that once we break through the illusions that were keeping us stuck and held back before. Being in your 5th house, you're starting to really realize the areas of your life that maybe you used to find pleasure in, but now you're kind of realizing that, oh, that doesn't actually bring me the same pleasure that maybe it used to. Maybe we're starting to realize what truly does bring us pleasure. What does bring us a sense of fulfillment and fun in our life? The 5th house helps you realize that. So this is going to be a transit that's now taking place over the next few years, and it begins in 2025 for you. Then we also have Saturn changing signs as well. So Saturn is moving from Pisces into Aries as well, and this is happening on May 25th. So it's going to be joining Neptune in your 5th house, where it's now going to be transiting for the next couple years. So Saturn takes a couple years to change zodiac signs. So now it's going to be transiting your 5th house, and Saturn helps us with responsibilities, commitments, boundaries, and really just being a more responsible type of person. It helps us mature in that area of our life. So now you're going to be maturing in the area of your life of pleasure, fun, leisure, romance, and children. So this is going to help all of my Sagittariuses create a stronger sense of maturity and a stronger sense of what really brings you true fulfillment and leisure and fun. You might also be realizing that you want to commit more to fun and leisure and pleasure, because maybe there was an imbalance there in your life. Maybe we've been so focused on productivity, and maybe we need to reel it back and realize that, oh, I actually need to create better boundaries to have a fun, enjoyable life. That's going to be really important. Or vice versa, right? Maybe we've been focused too much on fun. Maybe we also need to have the balance in the other way as well. So Saturn is helping you commit to balance when it comes to your leisure and fun in your life. It's helping you create balance and more responsibility in that area. And it's also helping you create a stronger sense of true fulfillment, true leisure, rather than things that are kind of like irresponsible. It helps us be more responsible in this area and really helps us find the things that actually create the deepest fulfillment. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter moving from the zodiac sign of Gemini, now moving into Cancer. So for the first half of the year, Jupiter being in Gemini was bringing a lot of blessings to your relationships. And even through back in 2024, it was bringing a lot of blessings to your relationships in your life. Jupiter is the planet of good fortune and abundance and blessings and miracles. So being in your 7th house for the past year, it was bringing a lot of blessings and miracles to your business partnerships, to your intimate relationships, to your friendships. But halfway through 2025, it's now moving into your 8th house, where now it's going to spend the next year. So even into 2026, now Jupiter is going to be bringing blessings towards your 8th house, which is the house of shared assets, shared resources, sharing responsibilities. So if you've needed support or help in some way, shape, or form, Jupiter is helping evoke that energy. Jupiter is going to help bring blessings when it comes to any sort of help that you've needed, any sort of assistance that maybe you've wanted. So whether that be financial support or support with time or support with shared responsibilities or being able to delegate tasks to other people. If you've needed business partnerships, if you needed intimate relationships, if you needed like a roommate or other things to help you with your responsibilities, Jupiter now transiting this area is going to help you expand into getting the help that you need, getting the support that you need, and also finding ways in which you can have more independence yourself through shared responsibilities. And then on July 7th, we have our last major transit of the year, which is Uranus changing signs. It's moving from your 6th house into your 7th house. It was in Taurus for the past few years. Now it's moving into Gemini, where it's going to spend the next few years. So now, since it is moving into your 7th house, Uranus creates change and innovation. Since it was in your 6th house over the past few years and through the beginning of 2025, this was creating a lot of change and innovation when it came to your schedule, your routine, and also when it came to your health. You might have noticed a lot of health shifts and changes over the past few years for you. Maybe you were figuring out your body and what really works for you. But now that you've had that figured out, since Uranus is now going to be shifting out of your 6th house, meaning that it's going to bring about more balance in that area of your life, and you've completed figuring all of that out and doing the innovation that you've needed in that area of your life, now it's going to be moving into your intimate relationships and partnerships. So business partnerships, marriage, intimate relationships, and friendships. Uranus is going to be creating change and innovation in this area for you. So you might notice that you're starting to realize who you really want in your life, business-wise. What kind of companies do you really want to be connected to and associated with? If you have a business, who do you really want to hire and work with? So it's going to be really starting to shed light on that and creating changes and shifts that are going to be really beneficial to create more innovation in this area for you. You're also starting to realize, okay, maybe if my dating life wasn't that great, we're starting to realize who we really do connect with and who we want to connect with in our future. If we have had dynamics in relationships where maybe we've sacrificed a lot of ourselves or had an unequal balance, this is also going to be helping create that change for you to create better balance in your relationships. So Uranus is going to be transiting here for the next few years, and it's going to really help bring the change and innovation that you need in your close partnerships and relationships. So that is what we have for my Sagittariuses for the year of 2025. Be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising signs if you have not already, and I'll see you in my next video. Hello, my Capricorns, and welcome to your portion of the zodiac sign prediction for 2025. So starting off this year, our first major transit is the North Node changing signs. It's moving from Aries into Pisces, which means that it's now going to be moving into your 3rd house. The 3rd house is the house of communication. It is the house of learning, networking, your kind of schedule that you have going on around you, and it's also of networking and friendships. So the North Node is what your soul is being called towards. So over this next year, your soul is called towards learning. It's being called towards fixing up your communication, the way in which you communicate, the way in which you speak and hold yourself and present yourself. This is all going to be things that are shifting and changing over the next year for you. You might notice that you meet new people a lot throughout the year of 2025, and you're really connecting to new ideas and new people that are going to help you in some way or help give you the ideas that you need. The 3rd house is very much your communication, your mentality, and writing and contracts. So there could also be different contracts that come through in this next year that you're really excited about, or new offerings that come through that are like, ooh, that's something to consider, or that's a new idea that's exciting. So those are different types of themes that come through as the North Node transits the 3rd house for you. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune changing signs. It's moving from Pisces into Aries, and this is going to be where it starts transiting your 4th house. Neptune helps us break through old illusions, and it also helps us create and step into our fantasy as we've broken through the old illusions. Being in your 4th house, this is illusions when it comes to your family life, when it comes to your home life, when it comes to your sense of security and your sense of comfort. So Neptune's going to really help you see areas of your life where there was a lack of stability. It's also going to really help you see areas of your home life that were maybe imbalanced or maybe weren't set up properly. Maybe we didn't have that strong sense of foundation. Maybe we didn't have that strong sense of security, or maybe we didn't even know where we wanted to live or where we belonged or where we wanted to set our roots. Maybe there was confusion with that. Or maybe we thought we knew what we wanted, but maybe that's going to change a little bit, because Neptune now transiting here is really helping us see and cut through anything that, again, maybe we thought was right, but maybe we're starting to realize now, like, maybe that wasn't quite right. Maybe I am wanting change. And Neptune, as we cut through the old illusions, helps us see what we really do want to create. It helps us see the fantasy that is actually possible for us as we accept what is no longer working for us. So within your home life, there could be different things within your family that you are now solving over these next few years, because Neptune does stay in a zodiac sign for a few years. And so since it's now just moving into your fourth house, it's going to be here for the next few years. It's going to really help solve issues in family. It's going to really help solve issues with your home, your foundation, where you want to live, where you want to set your roots and your entire feeling of comfort. It's going to really help you see what sort of issues needed to be solved, and it's going to help you create the stronger, more greater fantasy as you solve those issues. Then on May 25th, we also have Saturn moving into your fourth house as well, as it changes zodiac signs from Pisces into Aries, just like Neptune. And this really helps us create a sense of grounding. If you have needed more responsibility or a sense of structure at least, or a sense of boundaries within your home life, Saturn helps us do that. And Saturn stays in a zodiac sign for a couple years. So beginning in 2025, it's now going to stay and transit your fourth house for the next couple years, bringing about a sense of better boundaries. So setting up proper boundaries in your home life, setting up proper boundaries in order for you to feel more secure and stable. You're also going to figure out where you really want to set your roots, my Capricorns, because perhaps maybe you've been all over the place. Maybe you've been exploring a lot of different options when it came to your roots, but now it's like, you know what? Let's set our proper roots somewhere. You're going to at least figure out where you want to be. And Saturn also helps us with, again, boundaries. So boundaries when it comes to family life, when it comes to the people that we live with, when it comes to just being responsible and setting up a proper foundation for yourself. Saturn helps us do all of those things. And it's going to help you bring about a sense of comfort, okay? Because the fourth house is also all about comfort. And Saturn helps us take care of the things that we need to in order to create that structure to accomplish a certain goal. So that's going to be a really helpful transit as well, beginning in 2025. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter changing signs. It was in Gemini and now it's moving into Cancer. So Jupiter was in your sixth house and now it's moving into your seventh house. And Jupiter brings about good luck and good fortune. So since Jupiter was transiting your sixth house over the last year and through the beginning of 2025, it was really helped bringing good luck to your schedule, your routine, your health, and also your work-life balance. Now, Jupiter moving into your seventh house is going to bring about good luck in relationships, especially intimate relationships, so such as like marriage or intimate partnerships, or even really close friendships, and also business partnerships. Jupiter is now going to be bringing blessings to these areas of your life. And this is going to be really exciting and positive for my Capricorns. I'm very excited for you because now over this next year, so beginning halfway through 2025, so the latter half of 2025 and the beginning of 2026, there's going to be a lot of miracles and blessings when it comes to close, intimate relationships. And this could be a time where close, intimate relationships move to the next level and take the next step. So you might be taking the next step with somebody, whether that be a really important business partnership or a really close intimate relationship. But this could also be, if you're single, this could be meeting the right people and having really good luck and good fortune when it comes to meeting the people that are going to be really close to you, that are going to mean a lot to you. So it brings about all of that type of energy. And this is going to be a really positive, exciting transit for my Capricorns. And then on July 7th, we have Uranus changing signs. It was in your fifth house in Taurus for the past few years, creating a lot of shifts and changes when it came to your pleasure, when it came to your fun, and when it came to just like the leisure things in your life. Uranus was bringing a lot of change and a lot of unexpected new opportunities, a lot of new unexpected events in your life regarding your, again, leisure, fun, change, new experiences, all types of things like that. Uranus was bringing all that through, but now it's moving into your sixth house. When Uranus transits through the sixth house, it creates a lot of changes for us when it comes to our health and well-being. So you might start noticing, oh, there's different things where I want to focus more on my health and well-being to create a more healthy lifestyle. Maybe you're going to start to realize that you need to innovate this area in order to create a better sense of wellness or a better sense of work-life balance, right? The sixth house is also our service to other people and our work-life balance. So Uranus moving over here creates change and innovation. And a lot of the times it comes through unexpected change, but it helps us innovate to create change that's going to be really beneficial for us. So there's going to be different things that begin happening through the latter half of 2025 and for the next few years that are going to be helping you see how you can create better health choices, how you can create better work-life balance, and how you can create a better environment for yourself where you can actually thrive. So that's going to be starting in 2025 as well. And those are the major astrology transits that we have for my Capricorns. Be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising signs in this video to get the most all-encompassing, in-depth overview of your year. And thank you so much for joining me here. And until next time. All right, my Aquariuses, welcome to your portion of the zodiac sign prediction for 2025. So moving into this year, our first major astrology transit happens on July 12th, where the North Node changes signs. It's moving from Aries into Pisces, meaning that the North Node is now going to be transiting your second house. The second house is the house of your material assets and your money and your career. The North Node is your soul's calling and what you're meant to be fulfilling over this next little while. So the North Node is literally your future and what you're meant to fulfill and what your soul is pushing you towards. Being in your second house, you are meant to be fulfilling more abundance this year. This is a year where you're being called to find new ways of expanding your abundance, expanding your investments, and finding ways of expanding yourself within your career. So there could be new innovative ideas that you get, new inspirations that you get, new callings that you get, new opportunities that sort of come your way, new ideas for expanding money and abundance and your material assets and investments. Our next major transit happens on March 30th when Neptune changes signs. It's moving from Pisces into Aries, meaning that Neptune is now going to move into your third house. The third house is the house of communication, writing, contracts, kind of like your schedule, the different things that you have going on in your life. And it's also your mind and communication and the ways in which you express yourself. Neptune helps us cut through old illusions, and it also helps us realize our truest potential, and it helps us unlock more of our imagination and expansion. So Neptune actually brings us blessings, but it does so in the ways in which it reveals to us where we've maybe been caught up in an illusion. So when it comes to your communication, when it comes to your self-expression, Neptune's going to really help you see areas in which you used to hold yourself back, areas in which maybe you are limited or blocked. Neptune's going to help show you that so that you can begin to break through and have breakthroughs that are going to help you expand into greater ways of expression, greater ways of communication. If you've had communication blocks or if you've felt blocked within your communication, Neptune is going to help reveal that and eradicate that and help you break through so that you can communicate in brand new ways, so that you can get your ideas across, so that you can be creative, so that you can work through creative blocks. And Neptune transiting this area, it's going to be transiting here for the next few years because Neptune is a very slow-moving planet. So it stays within a certain transit for quite a few years. So as it moves into your third house, it's going to be here for the next few years, really helping you work on your communication, your expression, your ways of creativity, and the way you connect to other people. You might also realize that there were certain people in your life that maybe you're going to see who you really want to be connected to versus who you don't. Since the third house is also a house of friendships, it's also a house of learning new skills. Neptune being over here is going to help you be really imaginative and connect to things that are going to really work for you and leave behind things that no longer work for you. Then on May 25th, we also have Saturn changing signs as well, and it's also going to be moving into your third house. So it's also moving from Pisces into the zodiac sign of Aries. Saturn takes a couple years through its transits. So Saturn, since it's moving into your third house on May 25th, it's going to stay here for the next couple years. Saturn brings about a sense of responsibility, and it helps us with boundaries. Sorry, I'm like talking so fast, but Saturn helps us with boundaries. When it comes to communicating boundaries, you're going to learn how to communicate boundaries better. You're going to learn how to have tough conversations better. This is going to be a transit over the next couple years that really helps you step outside of your comfort zone and have the tough conversations that maybe we didn't know how to have before. Maybe we didn't know how to fully express ourselves, or express ourselves in a way that's actually going to be productive and get us to the solution that we need. Saturn moving here, you're going to be learning so much about communication and about expression that's going to help you in all of the ways. It's going to help you feel more heard. It's going to help you feel more communicative, like you're getting across your ideas properly, that you're able to communicate properly, that you're able to express yourself and not just hold things within, not just hold things back. So Saturn's going to really help in this area of your life. It's going to help you so much, and it's also going to help you solve issues in ways that, you're going to feel so liberated and just so much more productive within your communication. The third house, it does also deal with contracts, and Saturn is a sign of commitments. So there also could be a really important new offer or contract that comes through within these next couple years for you. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter changing signs. It's moving from Gemini into Cancer, which means it's moving from your 5th house to your 6th house. For the first half of 2025, Jupiter has been transiting your 5th house of fun, of pleasure, of leisure, of children, and it's bringing blessings to that area because Jupiter is the planet of abundance, miracles, and blessings. So it's bringing about a lot of good fortune to all of those leisure types of things, all of your fun and all of your pleasure. So Jupiter's really allowing you to expand into those things more through the first half of 2025. And then for the last half of 2025 and even going into 2026, Jupiter is now going to be moving into your house of health and career and your environment and your schedule and your routine. So Jupiter is going to help bring about blessings and shifts and miracles when it comes to your health, when it comes to your schedule and your routine and the responsibilities that you have in your life. So now Jupiter bringing blessings to these areas, you're going to notice more ease when it comes to your health, more ease and miracles and good fortune when it comes to your schedule and your routine. So there's going to be a lot of new blessings coming in through the latter half of 2025 and through 2026 as Jupiter changes signs. Then our last major transit of the year, we have Uranus changing signs. It's been in Taurus for the past few years, which has been in your 4th house, which is wild because for all of my Aquariuses, this means that over the past few years, your home life has been a little bit unpredictable, or it's been at least shifting in some way, shape, or form. So maybe there wasn't a strong sense of roots in your life over these past few years as Uranus was transiting the 4th house for you. Maybe there's been a lot of movement in your home life. Maybe there's been a lot of shifts and changes that you've had to innovate and work through over these past few years. But now Uranus on July 7th is going to be moving into your 5th house instead. So you're going to notice that your home life becomes a lot more stable, a lot more rooted. You're also going to probably figure out where you actually belong and where you actually want to be. And it's just going to be a lot more stable from here on out. And now Uranus moving into your 5th house, it's moving into the house of pleasure, children, and leisure and creativity. So Uranus in this house is going to bring about a lot of shifts and changes in the ways in which you have fun. You're going to notice that you're being called to explore brand new, innovative ways of having fun. You're realizing what is truly fulfilling for you. There's going to be a lot of changes in this area because ways in which you used to have fun, maybe you're realizing that that's just no longer part of your life anymore. It no longer really resonates with you. It doesn't have the same impact. And now instead there's new ways that are coming about that you're like, wait, my life is sort of changing in the ways in which I express myself or have pleasure or enjoy myself, or my creativity is just changing and shifting in some way, shape, or form. So you're going to notice that over these next few years as Uranus now begins to transit through your 5th house. So that is what is going to be happening for my Aquariuses over this year of 2025 and even a little bit into the future, since we're talking about some of those long transits as well. But be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising sign in order to get the most all-encompassing horoscope for this next year for you. Thank you so much for joining me here, and until next time. All right, my beautiful Pisces, welcome to your part of the zodiac sign prediction for the year of 2025. So we start off this year with our first major astrology transit happening on January 12th. This is when the North Node is changing signs. The North Node is what you are meant to fulfill and what your soul is calling you towards. And whenever it changes signs, it means that your soul is now going to be calling you towards something new. The North Node changes signs approximately every year and a half. And since it's changing signs in the beginning of this year, you're going to notice that your focus changes. Your soul and what your soul's calling you towards is going to shift. And the North Node is moving from Aries into Pisces, which is your home sign, meaning that the North Node is now going to be transiting your 1st house. You are meant to fulfill being focused on you this year. This is a you-focused year, my Pisces. This is a time to focus on who am I? What do I really want? What fulfills me? This is a time where, my Pisces, if you've been focused on everybody else, if you've been focused on what everybody else wants or needs, this is the year of focusing on you, returning the focus towards who am I, what do I want, and what fulfills me, and what's my identity going to be? A lot of the times when the North Node transits the 1st house, it's sort of a reinvention and rediscovery of who you are. So you might be changing on such a deep level that you're like, you know what, I do need to focus on me because there's a new me that's being born. So it's going to be a self-discovery year where you're going to be changing a lot, and your desires and your callings and who you are and your identity is going to be shifting and changing over this next year, and it's going to start on January 12th. Then on March 30th, we have Neptune changing signs. Neptune, your home planet, has actually been in Pisces for the past few years, but now it's going to be moving into Aries, meaning that Neptune is now going to be transiting your 2nd house. Neptune is the planet of illusions, but also fantasies and expanding the imagination. So Neptune transiting the 2nd house, we're going to be cutting through old illusions when it came to your material world, when it came to the things that you own. Perhaps you're starting to realize certain material things that maybe you once thought brought you a sense of fulfillment. Maybe we're kind of realizing that maybe that's not really bringing me the same sense of fulfillment that it used to. Maybe your material life is shifting in some way. Maybe the way that you associate with money is shifting in some way. Maybe we're realizing the illusion that we used to have around money and finances and career and the material assets that we own. Maybe we're going to be realizing what really does serve us versus what doesn't. Neptune helps us cut through those illusions. Maybe we're also going to be changing our relationship with money, because as Neptune comes through here, it also helps us realize what our belief systems have been around money. And if we've had limiting beliefs such as, I have to work really hard for money, or money doesn't grow on trees, or my money is always just going to be this way and I'm only ever going to make this certain amount and I'm limited in this way. Whatever your belief systems have been around money and finances, Neptune transiting this area is calling you to break out of those old belief systems that no longer serve you, because we always have belief systems that don't serve us in some way, and we can always realize what they are and break through them. And this transit is going to be helping you see the areas of your life that you've limited yourself in regards to money. Areas of your life where maybe you have certain things that you're like, I don't really resonate with owning that anymore. Maybe I want to get rid of certain things and free myself so that I can connect to what really does fulfill me, because Neptune is also the planet of imagination and fantasy. So it helps you see what it is that you really do want in your life. What do you want materially and financially for yourself? Neptune is helping you see that, but it only helps you achieve those things once you break out of the illusion that was keeping you stuck. Once you allow yourself to really see, okay, that's not fulfilling me anymore. That limiting belief was holding me back. Right when you see those things, that's when you have the breakthrough, and that's when Neptune reveals to you how you can achieve the higher fantasy that you actually desire. And Neptune's transits are a little bit slow because Neptune is a slow-moving planet. So this is actually going to be a transit that lasts for the next few years. So this is going to be taking place over the next few years for you. Then on May 25th, we also have Saturn changing signs as well, and it's also moving into your second house. So Saturn was in Pisces, which was in your home sign, but now it's moving into Aries, which means it's going to be moving into your second house. The second house is, again, all of your material assets, and Saturn is the planet of boundaries, responsibilities, getting things done, being productive. And so you're also going to notice through 2025, there's going to be this desire to really organize your finances, to really be more responsible when it comes to your money, when it comes to your material assets and your investments. Where you invest your time, your energy, and your money. That's going to be something that really Saturn is highlighting for you to become more aware of. And Saturn is bringing about this energy of being more responsible with your money and finances so that you can actually thrive. Because Neptune and Saturn being in the second house, this is really pushing you towards creating a thriving monetary environment for yourself. Creating a thriving financial environment for yourself. It's really calling you towards that, but it's going to come through cutting through those illusions, figuring out what that fantasy is, and then Saturn helps us implement the strategies, the discipline, and the boundaries that are going to help us achieve that vision. So Saturn really helps us create that strong groundedness that we need in order to achieve that higher vision that we are going to be striving towards. Then on June 9th, we have Jupiter changing signs. Jupiter is a planet of good fortune, abundance, and through the first half of 2025, being in Gemini, it's been in your fourth house, meaning that it was bringing blessings to your home life, it was bringing blessings to your family life, it was bringing new good fortune in your foundation and your sense of security. But now it's going to be moving into your fifth house of pleasure, leisure, creativity, children. So Jupiter now transiting the fifth house is going to bring about blessings in all of those areas of your life. So you might notice that through the latter half of 2025, there's going to be new opportunities and ways of experiencing pleasure, ways of experiencing fun. You might start noticing and exploring more of what is fulfilling for me, what is fun, what lights up my soul, what makes me feel creative, what makes me feel more like my inner child. Jupiter is going to bring about blessings through the latter half of 2025 and even into the year of 2026 for you in those areas of your life. And then our last major transit of the year is Uranus changing signs. Uranus is moving from Taurus into Gemini. It's been in Taurus, which has been in your third house for the past few years. Uranus creates unexpected change and innovation. So when it came to your communication, your ideas, when it came to your self-expression, Uranus was really changing a lot of things there for you over the past few years. You might have noticed that the ways in which you communicate have changed a lot. Maybe you've learned a lot about communication over these past few years and how you want to express yourself. You've learned so much. Uranus has created a lot of change and innovation when it came to your communication style. But now, mid-2025, it's going to now move into your fourth house as Uranus changes signs into Gemini. And Uranus always creates unexpected change, but the unexpected change always leads us towards new innovation that ends up benefiting us a lot. So being in the 4th house, this is the house of your home life, your foundation, your family life. Uranus, whenever it transits through the 4th house, which it's going to be transiting here now for the next few years, you might notice that you are spending a lot of time out of your house. You might notice that your home life actually changes a lot. You might be exploring with where you live. You might be exploring with where you want to set your roots. You might be exploring different things. There might be different changes happening within your family life. Maybe you're on the go a lot. Maybe you're going to move during this time over these next few years. So as this transit begins in 2025 and as it lasts through the next few years, you might be called to move. You might be called to try out new locations. You might be inspired to change up something within your family dynamic or who you live with, or your sense of security, your sense of foundation, where you're rooting yourself. Anytime that Uranus begins transiting the 4th house, it creates a lot of unpredictability with our home life, but it also creates a lot of innovation. So it leads us to innovation. It's going to lead all of my Pisces towards realizing where you do want to root yourself. Maybe you do want to be a little bit more of a free bird over these next few years. And this is really bringing that energy through this transit for you. Maybe you're really wanting to create innovation with who you live with, your family dynamic. Maybe you're really wanting to create some innovation there to create new structure so that you can achieve what you really want to. Maybe we need change in this area so that we can fulfill all the things that we want to fulfill. So that's going to be happening over these next few years for my Pisces beginning in 2025. So all of these different transits are going to be transpiring and happening through this year in 2025. And a lot of these transits are actually long transits that are going to be affecting even the years ahead for you. So those are all the major ones that you need to know about for the year of 2025. And definitely be sure to check out your other sun, moon, and rising signs in order to get the most all-encompassing horoscope for this next year for you. I'm sending you all so much love, and until next time, bye!